Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Do the same at the Grizzly Gentleman, same promo code, 10% off at checkout. Both of these are fantastic deals, and they help support the show. What is up? What the fuck? I'm used to that happening on Stone Shard. Not used to it happening here. Caught me off guard a little. Anyway, what's up, Planeswalkers? 36 back for more Magic the Gathering Arena. I got shaken from that. Anyway, we're going to play some Mono Black. Kind of Devotion, but kind of not really. Essentially, right? We got Gifted Aetherborn back via Jumpstart. And I wanted to use that. Now, what are the things about Gifted Aetherborn, right? It has 2 black pips. Okay. Seems like you really want to be heavily invested in black. If we're heavily invested in black, then we're going to want to play at least Gary. What else does it have? Well, it's a 2/3. Pretty decent stats. It has Death Touch and Lifelink, right? The Death Touch, sure. I might end up putting this in some Death Touch Tribal because it's actually a decent Death Touch card at 2 mana. But it has Lifelink. And notably, I said that if I'm going to be playing this, I'm probably going to want to play Gary. So I'm playing Gary. What else might I want? And then I realized I'm gonna be playing Mono Black. I'm gonna have a lot of swamps. What if I played into the life gain theme a little bit more and added Tendrils of Corruption? But Tendrils of Corruption only hits a creature. Well, Vito cares about us gaining life, not about doing damage. So we have so many ways to gain life. Vito might just be an interesting card to have in here, just because. So this is essentially a Mono Black Devotion deck with a little bit of a Vito thrown in there. We're rocking 2 Eliminates for the early game creatures and or Planeswalkers, 4 Gifted Aetherborn because these are just generally fantastic card against the aggro decks. However, I will note, I've been seeing essentially nothing except for Blue-Green X ramp and White-Blue X control. And that has been very annoying. It's almost as if certain cards that weren't banned should have been banned. First of all, Field of the Dead, definitely need that out of here. Uro seems relatively strong and worth getting out of here. And then last but not least, 3 mana Teferi, go away. But yeah, Gifted Aetherborn, generally speaking, does really nicely against creature decks in general. Yarok's Fenlurker allows us to yeet cards out of our opponent's hand. That is actually why we're not playing Agonizing Remorse in the main deck. It can buff itself, but generally speaking, it's just here for the 2 pips. We got, of course, the 3 Vitos. We're only running 3 because 1, it's a legendary creature, and 2, we're not trying to combo with it in terms of a big burst combo. We're trying to just get general, overall value over the course of the game by having our lifelink deal extra damage. We've got 4 Murderous Riders, a fantastic way to deal with creatures and planeswalkers. Since we do have access to some other life gain, I figure that the life loss from Swift End is not too big of a deal, and Murderous Rider has lifelink by itself, so having this out is just a little bit more incidental life gain to help end the game with Vito out. 3 Phyrexian Arenas, we want to be able to draw cards. This is a good way to draw cards consistently, and it costs a life, but we plan on gaining life, so it does not matter that much. 4 Dread Presence. When I play Mono Black, I really like Dread Presence. I'm actually, you know what? We're gonna do a slight audible here. Cabal Stronghold has never been good for me in a non-chromatic black deck, so we're going to go ahead and just cut that so we have even more swamps. But I really like playing Dread Presence, and hopefully you'll be able to see why. I played this deck and a bunch of other of the decks that you've seen in my deck folder over on stream this past Saturday, and I really, really liked Dread Presence there because it allows you to, potentially draw cards, but also allows you to drain things. And it can be a, creature, planeswalker, player, whatever, and you get to gain 2 life. With Vito out, you play a swamp, you hit your opponent for 2, you gain 2, you hit your opponent for 2. That's not terrible life swing. If you have 2 Dread Presences out, hey, that's a real fun time. I just like the card. I do wish it had a little bit bigger of a butt, so it survived more things, but it's fine. 3 Tendrils of Corruption. Technically speaking, this isn't exactly the strongest of removal, but, especially because it doesn't hit planeswalkers, but, shut up. But it does allow us to deal a really quickly scaling amount of damage to a creature, and we get to gain life. So even if for some reason we're not able to destroy the creature, say it has indestructible or something else, we're going to, potentially at least, stymie the effects of that creature for at least a turn. As I said already, with Vito out, it can be pretty nutso. Getting to, 6, 7, 8 swamps in play is not too far-fetched in certain matchups. So being able to just dome your opponent for 6, 7, 8 with a Tendrils of Corruption is pretty good, pretty fun to do. Also, 4 Phyrexian Obliterators because it's Phyrexian Obliterator. We're here to obliterate, baby. 4 Grey Merchants, obviously great with Vito, great with the arenas, the two 2-drops that have double pips, the Obliterator, obviously, it's just generally a nice card. And then a single Massacre Wurm, because I like Massacre Wurm, and I'm playing mono black, and I want to play Massacre Wurm. This is the mana base. We got 2 Bojuka Bogs to deal with Graveyard, 2 Castle Locthwains to just draw a little bit more, 18 Swamps, and 2 Phyrexian Towers. Now, this is a very interesting card. On turn 2, we can play Yarok's Fenlurker. On turn 3, we can sack Yarok's Fenlurker and play Phyrexian Obliterator, which is theoretically cool, except for the fact that in Historic right now, you can, like, be playing against an opponent who gets, I don't know, like, 6 mana by your 3rd turn. So that's fun. He said, obviously sarcastically. Ah, that's good. Who are we up against first? Eddie Arcadian. No idea who you are. This here's pretty decent. We will probably bog first, Yarok's Fenlurker, Arena, Dread Presence, etc., etc. We bog first just because we do want to be able to make our plays in a row. Like, potentially if this is Kethis combo or something, then it, you know, oops. But you can't really predict those things. Plain Slowzog. Alright, so it is mono white, Life Yane. Which means I might actually Murderous Rider next turn instead of Arena. They exile land, so I assume they have plenty of land. Nope, Griffin Airy, that's fine. So I will Arena. Will I Arena? Yeah, I want to draw through some cards. And I can kill Hero's Hawk with a Dread Presence trigger. I just have to maneuver those things. Alright, so this is not your normal, everyday, average life gain deck. This is one that is trying to get value out of Griffin's Airy. Notably, I'm not playing the one enchantment whose name I'm forgetting right now. But I'm not playing that, so there's that. So what I'm probably going to do here... I'm going to risk the Vito dying. But I think I want Vito out so I can get more value out of this Dread Presence. Vito could die, but Vito's not the point of this deck, you know? Not a point in attacking. Theoretically, I could have attacked and bluffed the buff, but then if they call my bluff, I'm just going to lose the Yarok's Fenlurker for essentially nothing. Whereas right now, a top deck Gary would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which would be 14 total for my opponent. Nixley's Ram, quite nice. The plan is to Dread Presence kill the Healer's Hawk. So the Healer's Hawk does gain them life over the course of things. Gary. I mean, Gary's a pretty good swing, though. Although I guess I can just get a better swing after playing Dread Presence. Yeah, it's technically less mana efficient, but I'm gonna do this. I'm still somewhat worried about my opponent having removal or some such, but because I do gain life in this deck, I'm not too perplexed here. And we get to hit our opponent for 2 as well. I could attack here. I'm not going to risk it. You know, getting through for 1 damage, I don't think it's going to matter all that much. Next turn, if I draw a land, then I could honestly Dread Presence play, or if I draw a swamp specifically. So that's rude, but honestly fine. They decided to do that instead of getting another Griffin. Never mind, they're going to get another Griffin. But if I top deck a Swamp, then Dread Presence is pretty good here. No, an Obliterator. They have 1 card, 3 mana. I want to play the Obliterator first. I don't trust any of that. I think I'm just going to play the Obliterator. Don't text. Predmate, sure. That can get eliminated. Yep. Ooh, the pain. What is in your hand? If I draw Swamp, it's going to be very hard to not just play... Alright, I didn't draw Swamp. I do have 4... But no, I think I'm going to do this. Because this is a nice 10. What's up? Let's attack with the Obliterator now. My opponent's at 4. I'm at 19 again. Daxos, I do not care. Why are you still attacking me? I mean, they're dead, but... Oh, we got to do the cool death. I could have Tendrils, but we have to do the cool death. Boop. 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 I didn't even have to shoot them both. Dabbed on them. I'm the superior life gain deck. Grumpy Thumper has a question. With the recent change to the death rule in Commander, what other rules or changes would you like to see made in the format? He personally would like to see a change where if your commander would be taken control of, you can sacrifice it for some mana cost and return to the command zone. I wouldn't want to see that change. I can see why... Yeah, I mean, I really can see why. I just personally wouldn't want to see that change. I'm not entirely sure I can articulate why exactly. Other changes I'd like to see in the format is a consolidation of commander damage. Right now, it feels like commander damage really isn't worth going for. But I think if commander damage weren't commander-specific, but were commander-general, such that any given commander will do, I think I'm going to Fenlurker here. I don't know what my opponent's doing, but disrupting them in any way here is probably fine. Murderous Rider to potentially answer some nonsense they might have next turn. They got rid of a secondary Fibblethip, which is unfortunate, but I don't exactly know what my opponent is on. I mean, this doesn't help me. Because, I mean, Cathar's combo isn't like this. Okay, so it seems like it's just Jeskai Fax. Alright, it seems like it's just Jeskai Fax. So if I top deck an Arena, I can play an Obliterator. I did not top deck an Arena. I could kill Saheeli here. I think I would rather just get another Fenlurker, though. Yeah, just get another Fenlurker. Just try and keep disrupting him. Oh. It's one of these decks. Gotcha. It's an Underworld Breach deck. Okay. Good to know. Another change that I would like to see made is... So the consolidation, I think it would make it a little bit easier for commanders to kill people with commander damage. So it would help Voltron even slightly. Teshar. Gotcha. Teshar is going to die. Right? I want to kill Teshar. There are currently no creatures in there. Target creature card, so I don't think I care. So no, I will just Obliterator. Because Obliterator obliterates. And the next turn I can play Gary. Yeah, next time I can play Gary. Another change I would like to see is, gosh, I had one. Oh, right, the hybrid change. That said, Kitchen Finks as a green or white card, fine. Beseech the Queen is just a black card. I understand that technically the double or the triple generics mean that you could consider it a hybrid colors card. That's not really what it does, though. One might die for free to the excavator. No, I think maybe I don't do that. I have to just try and kill him, I think. They're at 1. Am I dead this turn? Because next turn they're going to have to block. And they will lose things. A great many things. And I win again! Fun fact, Obliterator, still relatively strong. Relatively speaking. Cool. Is that it though? So yeah, I think it's reasonable to include hybrid cards. I can't think of anything that might break. And the thing is, if something does break, just don't play with that card. Like I'm the person who asks people if they could not play with Soul Ring and its ilk. Just because I generally speaking, don't like the play patterns of that card. I don't like that it essentially takes a guaranteed slot. So, you know, if you don't like the way a certain card interacts, take it out. Red. That's not the right 6. Alright, we got a good old-fashioned Aetherborn that we can gain life against the Gabo deck. I suspected it was going to be Goblins. My opponent, why are you doing this to me? Why? Opponent, why? How could you? It hurts so much. Why are you doing this to me? I mean, I feel like I killed a War Chief, right? It's mana efficient. Yeah, it's mana efficient. I think I just killed a War Chief. Destroy target creature. Die. I'm just gonna chill on the defense. I don't think there's anything else in Commander that. Oh well. Good thing I have a Tendrils, because that's some shit that I don't like. Have you die? Instant speed, but I don't want them to untap. Next turn, I can Dread Presence, kill something. Uh-oh. That was a sneeze. Shoot. Only I didn't say shoot. Should have a second Yarok's Fenlurker. Okay, so they do need to top deck a... They do need to top deck a land to cast that. I think I'll just hold up Eliminate. In case they get something nonsensy. Yeah. That is something nonsensy. Okay, so they will have a land next turn. Oh, I think I shouldn't have done that, actually. Because I know... Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Gary... Isn't join enough. I wonder if I draw a card. I think I draw a card and hope for another Yarok Fenlurker. Yeah, I think I kind of have to do that. Luckily, I do have a Gifted Aetherborn to block this nonsense. But I think I draw. Damn, no Fenlurker. Okay, so they're definitely going to be playing Moxith. Okay, luckily they do not have haste, but unluckily, I don't really have much I can do about it. So I need like 2 kill spells. That seems like a very bad attack. I think I'll draw again. Card too late. Yeah, I am dead. Well, I'm not guaranteed dead. Especially since I do have a good old-fashioned Grey Merchant. And you might be saying, why didn't I hold the Yarok's Fenlurker to get rid of this? Because I don't think it's the correct thing to do. Could have attacked with that, but okay. He does not have anything that gives haste. Right, he gets to search something that gives them haste. So I am probably dead. Because he can turn all of the 1/1s... Oh, he should Krenko now and turn them into things. I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Yeah, you use Krenko now. Whatever. To make a ton of 1/1s, sacrifice those 1/1s to get more of the Goblin Chieftains, and I'm absolutely dead. My opponent's going for it. Look, if I'm gonna lose, losing to nonsense goblins, not the worst way to die. That Yarok's Fenlurker being 1 turn away, though. Real sad deck hours right there. Yep. This is exactly what you do. Because, so you're removing... Jeez, okay, that's a bit loud. Just gonna do that for right now. You're removing 6 total damage to add a substantial amount more damage. In fact, they might be able to Goblin Matron, and get sufficient value by casting Taskmaster. I'm just not sure if that actually is mana efficient at that point because of the amount of goblins that are being sacrificed. Oh, this is all right. They grabbed another Muxus. I mean, at this point, they're kind of showing off, but I'm letting it happen because I'm fine with it. You know, nonsense goblins, like that's one of the decks that I'm gonna have on the channel at some point soon. So. Might as well see some of the play patterns. I could have been potentially a little bit more aggressive with my Gifted Aetherborn, but... meh. Deck just needed removal. Did I use... I may have used my removal. Yeah, I did say at some point using the removal on the conspicuous snoop was probably incorrect, but I don't actually know if it changes anything. My main thing, the reason I hate my opponent, is the amount of different... Just all different lands. Just disgusting. It sickens me, frankly, and it's disgusting. Oh, they got a Krenko. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Alright. 50-50 Muxus, I'm still gonna block it. I'm gonna let everything else through. You know what? I'm not gonna block that. I wanna see how negative I go. Ow. Almost negative 200. GG 1871. Not bad. Not bad at all. That name is great. Demonic Tutor. I go first with a land light hand. I think I got a mull. Oh, right. Yeah, I think I mull. Alright. I keep this. I should eat the tendrils, I think. Got the 2 removal. They're in the tank. More Gobos. Popular deck archetype, it seems. I think it's correct to kill the Snoop now. They should sack it. They should have sacked it so that I wasn't able to get Murderous Rider as a creature, but War Chief, unfortunate. Let's see if they can deal with Obliterator. That's not great. Doesn't matter when I do it. Another Krinko. I mean, this deck is relatively consistent. They don't even go for the Krinko, they just go for beating me to death. Goblins. Okay then. Alright. Since it seems like apparently normal real decks are a thing again, I would probably suggest some Cry the Canariums. Rituals of Soot. Obviously this deck in best of 3, obviously this deck is going to do a lot better. Mainly because you're going to be able to deal with a lot of the nonsense. So you have, actually I have this. You have things such as Agonized Remorse to deal with a bunch of things, to be honest. You have Timurit's Chosen of Death, just for that extra bit of, 1, it's Black Pips, and 2, Graveyard Hate. Excuse me. You have things like Virulent Plague against field decks. You have, where was it? Not Extinction Event. I think it's better to use Ritual of Soot, which is not in here for some reason. Ritual of Soot, You could do Leyline of the Void, but I think, frankly, something else would be better. Something that draws you a card. I think Cryothalarium is worth including. It does technically hit Yarok's Fenlurker, but that's kind of it. And, well, Cryothalarium I actually don't think you want. I think you would want Pestilent Haze in the sideboard. And the main reason for that is because Cry exiles and Pestilent Haze does not, which means that if you do use your Massacre Wurm, it's a little bit better for you. Very similar reason to why I think you wouldn't want to go with Extinction Event. Probably Rankle in control matchups, but I'm not entirely sure. Liliana, Waker of the Dead, is also quite nice in the control matchups. As you saw, it's pretty reasonable that we're going to yeet our hand relatively quickly, so we have things like that. Gonti also quite nice in matchups like that. Also has Death Touch, which is always fun. But yeah, no, I think in general, if you modify this deck to be in best of 3, you're probably a little bit better off. But best of 1, it seems relatively reasonable. I don't know why I'm saying relatively so often, but I would relatively love to thank my patrons for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links to that down in the description below. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff really does help out the channel, especially in these times where I'm losing subs every day. Until next time, though, I will be one. Yeah.